Inside Gaming is sponsored by ExpressVPN. They're the fastest VPN we've ever used. Try them out at expressvpn.com/inside. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. So guys, WWE, aka World Wrestling Entertainment, is not happy, and not just because CM Punk broke the internet when he showed up on AEW, although that was super awesome. No, they're upset because this has to do with the current state of the WWE 2K games. The last one, you might remember, being buggy, to put it nicely. So WWE is not pleased, and the headline here is that WWE 2K22 has been delayed over the wrestling company's objections. So here's what happened. The developer 2K announced in a tweet that the game would release in March of 2022. That comes after we were told in April of this year that WWE 2K22 would come out later this year, so they're pushing it back a few months. And WWE 2K22 was supposed to be the game that got the series back on track after 2K20 was a complete disaster. You might remember that it was a buggy mess filled with unintentionally hilarious glitches. Sony even issued refunds for the game. It was basically Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk. So after all the fallout, 2K completely scrapped plans for a WWE 2K21 game with the intent of righting the ship with WWE 2K22. But it sounds like obviously work is taking longer than expected. Meanwhile, things are apparently not going well behind the scenes, with WWE not being happy with the quality of and the reception to WWE 2K20. Sports Gamers Online reported that there's been infighting over the direction of the new game, with 2K and WWE going back and forth. WWE wanted it to be released around the time of the Survivor Series pay-per-view that happens in November, Survivor Series 97, never forget. But 2K Sports and its subsidiary developer Visual Concepts pushed for a delay in the game. Why did they want a delay? Well, there were several reasons. There have been a number of roster cuts that the WWE has made recently. That was awkward because Visual Concepts had already done a bunch of work on wrestlers who are no longer with the company. One source even said this is shaping up to be the most outdated roster a game has seen. And after the terrible response to WWE 2K20, apparently WWE has been more difficult to work with. Vince being difficult to work with? I don't believe it at all. They have said they want a better product this time around. Oh my God, I think I'm on Vince's side this time. In meetings with 2K parent company Take-Two, WWE even dangled the possibility of using other publishers as future partners. One source told SGO that it was like threats to cancel cable. Threats would come out of them claiming to have interest from one company here or there. WWE has also made it clear that 2K22 is very important to the future of the franchise as a whole. All of that pressure, as you might imagine, has resulted in an angry staff over at Visual Concepts. Yeah, it can't be great to work there right now. One source said, it just hasn't been a fun place to be. Second guessing happens constantly because of the desperation to get things right. On the upside, they did get the game delayed, so that means they have more time to polish it or finish it. One of the developers said, we're doing everything we possibly can to make the wrestling game fans want. So yeah, it's a mess, and of course, this comes after 2K parted ways with veteran wrestling game developer Yuke's during the development of 2K20. In an interview with DualShocker, creative director Linnell Jinx implied that 2K actually forced the split and said that the relationship between Visual Concepts and Yuke's had gotten strained. And Yuke's, they have made these games forever and ever and ever, and after Yuke's left, it was all on Visual Concepts. It sounded like a big mess, which was part of the reason why 2K20 was such a disaster. So eventually they got their wish, and Visual Concepts took over as the sole developer of WWE games, but it has been a bumpy ride so far, to say the least, and now WWE is not pleased with the results. So needless to say, a lot riding on WWE 2K22. All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but guys, first, let's talk about purple mattresses. Right now, it feels like the world is conspiring against getting a good night's sleep, whether you feel anxious about your health or the world being on fire or a global pandemic. Not as easy to fall asleep and count sheep these days. But when you have a purple mattress, you can sleep cool and comfortably no matter what worries are out there. Whoa, it's an anti-anxiety mattress. That's awesome, because only purple mattresses have the grid, a unique ventilated design that lets air flow through so you keep cool even when it's over 100 degrees in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Texas. We put jackets on for that weather. Unlike memory foam, which forgets nothing, the grid bounces back as you move and shift, and you never feel stuck in your bed like you do with memory foam. I love purple. I got the pillow. I've told you about my neck cricks, old man injuries. My neck got pulled, like a muscle got pulled in my neck during the Rooster Teeth podcast, just turning to listen to Gus. So I'm getting those pains. The purple pillow though keeps it in place. I always wake up feeling good and refreshed. Purple is comfort reinvented. Right now, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Go to purple.com/roundup10 and use promo code roundup10. That's purple.com/roundup10. Promo code roundup10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/roundup10. Promo code roundup10. Terms apply. On to the rest of the stories. Well, the PS5 has not been out that long yet, and a new model is already out. That's great. I don't have the regular PS5 yet. Is this a slim model? I guess I'll move on to the next one. The Australian gaming outlet Press Start reports that Sony quietly launched a new model of the digital edition PS5 in Australia. It's also out now in the UK as well. The new model is about 300 grams lighter than the original. What is that? Is that 5 pounds? Is it 50 pounds? You could tell me either one and I would believe you. It also has a new base stand screw that you can screw. You know that screw in the base stand? Well, you don't need a screwdriver to adjust it anymore. So there you go. Huge improvements. We don't know about the innards though. At this point, nobody's cracked it open yet, or at least they haven't done it and put it online. Eurogamer reports that both the disc and the digital versions of the PS5s are believed to have these changes. xCloud, we know xCloud, right? It's Microsoft's game streaming service. It is coming to Xboxes. Hey, that's great. It'll be out this holiday, and if you own an Xbox One, a Series S, a Series X, it'll mean you can click on a Game Pass game and enjoy a very, very choppy version of it, if that's your thing. If you want to watch a slideshow version of your favorite games, you will love xCloud. The initial rollout will include more than 100 Game Pass games, and they'll update the Xbox dashboard to include a cloud icon so you'll know if you can stream it or not, if you have a bomb-ass internet connection, I guess. They also said the new integration will be available to Xbox insiders this fall, a little bit early. Ooh, that's why you're an insider. Oh, and speaking of the Series X and S, I read this. Apparently they have better load times than the PS5, at least on Psychonauts 2. This YouTuber, El Analista de Bits, did a side-by-side comparison. The Series X and S loaded Psychonauts 2 just over 7 seconds. It took the PS5 about 20 seconds. That's nuts. Next-gen console wars. Here we go. All right, remember when DrDisrespect got banned from Twitch about a year ago? Well, he says he knows the reason why, because we didn't know, but he knows now. He says he's gonna sue Twitch. The good doctor, aka Guy Beam, said in a recent YouTube stream that, quote, "I've known for months now the reason why, and I'm just gonna say this right now, champs. There's a reason why we're suing the out of him. I don't know how else to put it." He did not elaborate, but his June 2020 ban came a year after he streamed live inside a bathroom at E3 and got another ban for that. So he's had a history of this. At the time, he said he had no idea why he was banned last year. He said he didn't do anything to warrant it. Since then, he's been on YouTube, but he says that he makes about a quarter of what he did on Twitch. I'm sure that's still a lot of money. All right, so here's a notable video game retirement. Lance Barr, you might not know the name, but he designed the NES and the Super NES consoles for the States. He is retired from Nintendo. Legendary designs, dude. He announced it on LinkedIn, stating that after almost 39 years at Nintendo, wow, I am retiring and moving on to other projects. He has served as design and brand director since 1982. Barr, like I said, designed the North American version of the NES. He created the now famous front-loading design that those of us of a certain age remember. I wonder if that design include you having to blow on it or like, you know, kind of play with it a little bit. There were some problems with that design. It's iconic, but there were some issues. In a 2005 interview with Nintendojo, Barr said that the design was conceived as a wireless modular system designed to look more like a sleek stereo system rather than an electronic toy. And if you don't think it was sleek, stuff in the 80s is different. He also did the North American redesign of the Super Nintendo, so that was a very classic look as well. He also did peripherals like the NES Zapper, the NES Advantage, and the NES Max controller. I had one of those. He also designed the Wii Nunchuck. So pretty impressive run, dude. Nice job. All right, time for a 5-second review. Speaking of psychic powers, one time when I was a kid, I convinced another kid that I could predict which way a car was going to turn. I was just looking at their turn signals. He wasn't a smart kid. That's mean. I was a mean kid. All right, let's get to the games coming out next week. First up, Book of Travels. Ready your pack, grab your walking stick, and step into a world of mystery and legend. Craft a unique character and immerse yourself in the enchanted lands of Braided Shore. Set your own goals and adventure alone or together with travelers you meet on the road. It comes to PC August 30th. The Big Con. Hustle your way across 90s America as a runaway teen con artist. That's quite the combo. Choose how to make your scratch, because that's how con artists talk, as you don disguises, pickpockets, and rip people off in this comedic, crime-filled adventure. It comes to the PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One August 31st. Crown Trick. Enter a labyrinth that moves as you move, where mastering the elements is key to defeating enemies and uncovering the mysteries of this underground world. With a new experience awaiting you every time you enter the dungeon, let the power bestowed by the crown guide you in this challenging adventure. It comes to the PS4 and the Xbox One August 31st. Kiwi is a cute, cooperative postal puzzler starring Jeff and Deborah, two small kiwi birds working in a whimsical post office. They must jump, flap, peck, and butt slam their way across an interactive landscape of levers, bells, and buttons to get those messages delivered on time. It comes to the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 31st. Monster Harvest is a monster collecting and farming action RPG with a twist. Grow, collect, and mutate your crops, then take them into battle. Whoa! Filled with places to discover and multiple ways to build your farm, get ready to craft, explore, and battle across the vibrant world of Planimal Point. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 31st. Rustler. Become a medieval thug in a crazy open-world action game full of pop culture references. I love those. Complete insane quests, kill heroes, steal horses, fight guards, rob peasants, listen to some bard music, and much more. Oh, it's one of those where you're the bad guy, but you're the star of the show. All packed in old school gameplay style. It comes to PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 31st. Kind of sounds like Guards by Terry Pratchett. I don't know, that was a great book. Train Life, a railway simulator. For the first time in railroad simulation, play as both the driver and company director. Take the controls of your locomotives and grow your railway empire by negotiating deals and developing a network. It comes to PC August 31st. Lake. It's 1986. Meredith Weiss takes a break from her career in the big city to deliver mail in her hometown. How will she experience 2 weeks in beautiful Providence Oaks with its iconic lake and quirky community? And what will she do next? I'm going to guess deliver mail and then realize she's kind of bored after a while and get back to her regular life. It comes to PC, Xbox Series X, September 1st. El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. El Shaddai, originally released in 2011, is a unique third-person action adventure filled with deeply artistic world-building, outstanding aesthetics, and thrilling battles. Experience an incredible mix of 2D-like platformer action and a colorful 3D world in an exceptional setting. It comes to PC, September 2nd. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Embark on a journey to a realm overrun by demons in a new epic RPG from the creators of the critically acclaimed Pathfinder Kingmaker. Explore the nature of good and evil, learn the true cost of power, and rise as a mythic hero capable of deeds beyond mortal expectations. It comes to PC September 2nd. World Rally Championship 10. Hailed by reviewers and professional drivers, the standard-setting off-road racing simulation has been reinvented. Oh, good for it. Reach the 2021 season podium, and to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the competition, relive the highlights at the wheel of legendary cars. It comes to the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One September 2nd. Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions. Do you have what it takes to become a champion? Train, fight, and win like Adonis Creed, Rocky Balboa, and more boxing legends in this boxing game. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch September 3rd. Kataria Fables. This is an action-adventure fused with RPG and farming elements. Armed with a sword, bow, and spellbook, fight against a rising darkness threatening the world, plunder dungeons in search of relics and resources, tend to your farm to make provisions and potions, and take on quests solo or with a friend. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch September 3rd. And finally, The Medium. Discover a dark mystery only a medium can solve. That's you. Travel to an abandoned communist resort and use your unique psychic abilities to uncover its deeply disturbing secrets, solve dual reality puzzles, survive encounters with sinister spirits, and explore two realities at the same time. It comes to the PS5 September 3rd. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. Hope you're having a great weekend. We will see you soon.